I remember when I was a little kid, we went to the circus, and my dad and we were walking by this row of elephants who were tied up, and they were big elephants, full-size elephants, but they were tied up by just a tiny little rope tied onto their foot and onto a bar. And I said to myself, wow, that's really strange. And I asked my dad, I said, that elephant, those elephants are big enough to break that rope off and just go stomping around wherever they want. That thing's not strong enough to hold them. And my dad looked at it too, and he scratched his head, and he didn't know why they just tied them up so loosely and why they weren't in chains or something. And so he called over one of the guys that worked there that attended to the elephants. And he said, how do you keep the elephants tied up on such a little rope? And the guy said, he says, ever since they were baby elephants, we tied them up with the same rope. And when they were babies, they couldn't break it. And then they just got used to it. And it's plenty. We don't really need. They never try to break it. I always remember that because I think in a certain way we're all tied down by a little rope because of our conditioning and the way we've always done things. And maybe we failed at certain things earlier, trying to break a rope. And now when we're older and more mature, we're still thinking that we can't possibly break that thing that's tying us down. And maybe it's because of low self-esteem or not really believing that we can, or not having enough confidence in God. And all of us probably have a rope or two that's holding us down that we could break if we wanted to. And we need to remember that our self-worth doesn't come from just ourselves. It comes from what God thinks of us and the potential that God's put in us and the grace that God has given us all the time. And if we were to trust a little bit more in God rather than the failures from our past, well, as Scripture says, all things are possible to God, even the things that are impossible for us. So what's holding you back? Do you have enough confidence in the power of God working through you? If you like this video, make sure you like it down below, and then share it with your family and friends. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.